My topic is the Africa diaspora in the United States, focusing on the Gala Geechee and their language. The African diaspora community and the Gala Geechee are descendants of enslaved Central and West Africans who created a unique culture and strong African roots and settled in coastal regions of Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. Just an introduction and stuff. So what African diaspora is it's a special part of the United States that has helped shape culture for many places around the country. While African Americans do not know their many roots in culture, have maintained their culture and beliefs and passed them down through the ages. One of those groups is the Gala Geechee. How to connect? Despite the United States speaking English as their official national language, the Gala Geechee have maintained their unique surreal language over the ages, and they're located in coastal areas like Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. Their ancestors were enslaved in isolated islands as well as coastal plantations, created their culture that makes them super unique, and with their deep retentions quite visible in the unique arts of the Gala Geechee people, and their music and food as well. My problem statement is for decades, it's always been assumed that African Americans become absorbed in white American culture. However, some communities kept their culture, like the Gala Geechee. The research will show you how the Gala Geechee people have managed to maintain their culture, language, music, and art over the years. Also give you a look on how they have impacted American society and diaspora community in general. My questions are how the Gala Geechee maintained their culture and traditions over the ages, and how the Gala Geechee impacted the African diaspora community. My thesis statement and argument. Many people think that all African Americans speak English and use common cultures, but the truth, as supported by my research of the African diaspora in America, is there are groups that have unique cultures and even their own language. My roadmap, is just outlining key points. Not all African Americans abandon their traditions. The Gala Geechee spread throughout 4 different states in the East Coast. That's like North Carolina, Florida, and they have retained their unique surreal language, food, art, and many other beliefs. That's setting them apart from others. And their spiritual expressions and national heritage. So this is just like the revising connections that I've made. My 2 main units that I used to connect are the main focuses on the Gala Geechee have been the complex processes of forming an identity among enslaved and free people of color in the American South from the early 19th century. There's also been focuses on other roles of ethnic destructions in cohesion and division among enslaved people. However, this gave way to a broader shared racial identity through a shared experience of enslavement. My argument are many people think that all African Americans speak English and use common culture, but the truth, as supported by my research, is African diaspora in the America is that there are groups that have unique cultures and even their own language. This comes back to my thesis statement and showing on how the Gala Geechee speak English-based surreal. Having worked as slaves on rice fields in the 18th century, they developed their new language as a response to their diversity. They came from different backgrounds and needed a common language, hence created surreal. Instead just following their masters and speaking English, they defied odds, created a unique culture and language that only they would understand. This gives them their African diasporic connections. My personal diasporic heritage. Many diasporic communities in the USA have changed Christianity and Western values after being exposed in the US. This connects to me because, I'm Christian, and just has affected America in many different ways. Having come from different backgrounds, they had to find common ground. They took their best and most common aspects and combined them into one culture. The Gullah Geechee created Creole, a language that helped unify the African slaves in the coastal regions of North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, and Georgia. In conclusion, many people think that all African Americans speak English and use a common culture, but the truth, as supported by my research on African diaspora in America, is that there are groups that have unique cultures in their language, even in their own language. The Gullah Geechee developed their own language and opted to not use English. They brought them with rich African heritage and molded it to fit their new culture and African diasporic connections. Spiritually and religion have had a great sustaining community and family lifelong among the Gullah Geechee. Despite being exposed to Christianity during slavery, the only chose element that related to them and kept majority of their tradition and beliefs. This is my biography and my sources. Thank you very much.